Okay, so in this video we'll take a look at chapter 7 of our miracle morning, that is going to be about the morning savers. So we'll be looking at each of the component of chapter 7. There are 6 components of it, and each of these components will be actually describing the 6 main techniques which can be helpful to start our day in a much better way, or to improve the quality of our days by improving the quality of our mornings, right? So we saw in our previous video that there were 6 techniques denoted by savers, SAVERS, and each of these techniques was focused on improving the quality of our mornings, right? So the first activity is silence. S for silence. So what is the importance of silence in starting our day, or how our days can be improved if we start our days or our mornings with silence, right? So it's not about the silence, but rather about the purposeful silence. You have to have some expectations from silence. And how can you stay silent and not think about anything or not talk about anything? I mean, we are living in so much rushed life. We are always making plans for the future, or reliving our past and regretting over some of the incidents that might have happened the day before. And we are never aware of our actual being. We have never took out any time to just be ourselves, to just breathe and feel our very existence, right? So by taking our time each morning to sit still in silence and just breathing and just being, we can actually be connected to our truer selves, and we can actually identify ourselves and our truest goals and what we actually want in our lives, right? So we can practice silence in a variety of ways. For example, we can meditate, or we can pray, like it's a time for Fajr prayer, so we can pray as well. Or we can reflect on the deeper meaning of our lives. I mean, we have never thought about what we really are. I mean, yes, you have a name, but that name has been given to you by your parents, or you have a degree, you are studying something, but that just depends on your university. But what are you? Who are you in person? Have you ever thought about that? Like what are we? I think we must reflect on that question, and that will bring us to a very painful realization that most of us just don't know. I mean, really, most of us don't know who we really are. We can just not answer that question, right? So, or you can breathe deeply, right? Breathing deep is a very important part of silence routine, and at the end you can just be thankful, or you can, in your mind, you can just give a thanks to all the things that you have in your life, or you're enjoying in your life. So the first component of the silence routine is meditation, and by far it's the most important one as well. So we think, when we talk about meditation, as something which is done by very sage people who are living on mountains, and they have cut off their connection from the normal world, and they're just so abnormal, so not normal. And the reality is quite the opposite, right? Now we know by various interviews that many successful actors, businessmen, and media persons, they actually practice meditation as a daily part of their lives. And when you do meditate, you just need more of it. I mean, the more you get it, the more you need it, because sitting in silence, it's like a vacation from your problems, right? I mean, even when we're asleep, even when we're sleeping, our mind is constantly thinking about the ways to get out of various problems, or to fix our life, or some things like that. But our mind is never at rest. So to put our mind at rest, to lower our stress levels, and to improve ourselves physically, it is recommended to practice meditation for at least 10 minutes every morning, right? But the mere idea of sitting sitting in silence and not doing anything and not thinking about anything, it just seems so odd. But once we start practicing it, it just becomes so much a part of our lives, and we can just not help but do it every day, right? So for practicing meditation, you can just find a comfortable space in your home. I mean, it preferably should not be your bed or your room. It should be outside of your safe space or your comfy space, because you will have the desire to go back to sleep if you do it in your room, right? So you can just go to your roof. I mean, in the morning you can just sit there in silence, and that's the best place to be, because there's this morning cool breeze, and it's just so perfect. I do it well. Okay, so for meditating, you'll have to sit with your legs crossed and with your back straight up, and you can close your eyes, or you can sit look at ground, whatever suits you. and you just need to breathe, and it's preferred that you start with slow breathing, and you'll inspire from your nose and expire from your mouth, and after that you can just start breathing deeply. And by breathing deep, I mean by breathing with your belly. Your on inspiration, your belly should expand instead of your chest, right? And you can hold your breath for 3 seconds and let it out through your mouth, right? So you inspire and then you expire, right? And that is the first step of meditating. And while doing this, you have to stay focused that you are not letting any thoughts, any unwelcome thoughts into your mind, right? You need to be conscious of that. Definitely there will be several thoughts which will be coming in your mind, thoughts about future, thoughts about your past, even thoughts about the present. I mean, what are you doing and why are you doing, right? But you just have to ignore all that and focus on what you're doing, that is simply breathing, right? So sit there, breathe, acknowledge the thoughts that come into your mind, but just let them go at the same time. Don't flourish on them. I mean, don't delve into them, right? Just let them go, because this is the time that you don't think about anything. You just be yourself, right? In addition to that, you can pray, right? Praying is another form of silence, which is quite having a lot of benefits. Then you can reflect on your life. Where is your life headed? What is your deeper purpose? What is your higher goals? Or looking at your life in a bigger picture, right? And then again, deep breathing, and then gratitude. You can just thank in your mind God about everything that has gone right for you, or how lucky you are as a person, right? So secondly, we can just if we cannot focus on the mind, or if we cannot prevent the thoughts from coming in and out, you can just focus your mind on one word or one phrase. For example, when you breathe in, you can just say to yourself that I'm breathing in love, and when you exhale, you can just say to yourself that I'm breathing out peace, right? I'm breathing in love, I'm breathing out peace. So in this way, you can just replace these words with anything you want, and this can help you have a focused mind, right? So this is what the S of the morning savers denote: silence, sitting in silence, meditating. And if we start our day in such a peaceful way, I guess the rest of our days, or rest of our day for that matter, gets spent in peace as well. So it gives us a clarity, it improves our physical health, it improves our mindfulness, it just has a lot of noted benefits. I don't need to remind you of all those again. So with this note, we are done with part 1 of chapter 7, that is the silence. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and take care of yourselves.